Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. Thank you so much for joining me again for another video. Today we're doing another construction project. About a year and a half ago, I had Matt and Prime come out and help me replace the ceiling, and we actually built this fence. Still holding strong. We're very much amateurs. Everything that we're trying to do, learn from YouTube. Prime has a little bit more experience. So a couple days ago, I came over here and I was looking at the bathrooms. I was like, you know what, it'd be really nice to just kind of update this a little bit. The Papples do a lot for me, particularly Amy. She helps with my son quite a bit. So I was like, well, what's something I can do just to kind of, you know, show some appreciation. We did this about a year and a half ago. I was looking at the bathroom, wanted to update it. I was like, well, redo the walls. Maybe we could just replace the toilets and the vanity. Maybe kind of update the floors. But when I came over here, I looked in the second bathroom, which I wasn't really going to touch. And I saw that there was actually some mold and some health concerns as opposed to just like aesthetic things. So I've enlisted Prime to come help me out. We're going to go ahead and replace the ceilings. We're going to put some drywall and paint them. I don't have a whole lot of experience with that. I watched a ton of YouTube videos, but since Prime has done it before, we're going to do it together. A bunch of patrons helped out fund this project. Before coming here, we went to Lowe's. We purchased all the stuff for the ceiling. We're going to really do this project in bits and pieces. Today, I'm just worried about taking the ceiling stuff down and then trying to get the drywall, and that kind of being the end of our day. We kept our ceiling materials in budget. I came out here trying to keep it under 150. No, we're good. We're good.
And then
We have a military discount from Prime. That might clear us.
Okay, my phone number is...
Oh, we went out.
Hey.
That was pretty close.
Look at that.
Nice. And some of that stuff was not all that necessary. We had to buy an extra piece of drywall for the ceiling. We only needed 3, but they came in sections of 2. We bought some PPE stuff for the mold. We're gonna spray that down while we're working in the second bathroom to try and kill most of that. To put that in perspective, I got a quote from somebody that does drywall. I explained that the ceilings they're not that big square footage. They're like 40 square feet a piece. And he quoted me $1,600. So our materials were under 150, and we probably could have finagled a little bit cheaper anyways, but that's put it in perspective. So we're saving a lot of money doing it this way. So this is gonna be a fun vlog. It's gonna be a learning experience. We're gonna probably showcase all the mistakes and errors that we make along the way, of which there will be many. This should be a fun learning experience. So let's go ahead and get into it. Here's the drywall. Since we don't have any trucks, we had to, in the parking lot of Lowe's, cut them down the middle.
It fits.
It does.
It's perfectly fine.
Here's bathroom number 1. We're going to also replace the floors at a future date, but replace the toilet, replace the vanity, kind of update some of this stuff, replace the mirror, replace the light, just kind of update everything. Here's the ceiling. Here's the ceiling we did before. Still looking good, huh, Prime?
Yeah.
You surprised?
I am.
And then this is the bathroom that was of concern. You can see quite a bit of mold on the walls there, on the sides. The flooring itself has been like ripped up, so it's just on concrete. So I was not actually planning to do this bathroom, but when I came over here, I was getting some measurements. So I was like, let me go ahead and just take a look. But they said that one of the main issues with this vent stopped working. Still not working, so in the future I might need to get an electrician, but this is, I was just really concerned, like health-wise, with all this stuff. Looks like it's black mold.
Kind of a common thing I've seen down here, at least one of our first rentals, was the bathroom had no vent in it. Trying to comprehend that, because I don't know if that's been like in apartments you lived in before your house.
No, I've always had vents, I feel like.
There's always just a little window in our rentals, and I'm like, it's humid for one in Florida already, and then to not ventilate your steamiest room.
Before we even touch this, we're gonna work on the other one. I'm gonna spray this whole room down with mold killer and just try and get some, at least that topical stuff. I'm a little nervous to see what's under there.
Well, last time we had a
bunch of
rat droppings and
come down, yeah. So we're probably gonna get a little bit of that today. Just finished taking down everything off the ceiling there, trying to measure just to make sure we're not bringing in too much drywall.
Measuring
Probably needs some help, so I'm gonna go up there and help him.
This measuring tape sucks.
Maybe you should do a couple in the middle as well.
Yep.
So we can kind of... Oh, making some mistakes along the way. A little bit, where'd it go? A little bit chipped off there, that was me.
Huh.
But nothing a little putty can't fix. I don't know the official spacings, but these might be too close together, which in our case wouldn't be so awful. It just means it's a little extra secure. Too deep on that one. I've actually been watching Home Improvement.
Like the Tim Allen show?
Yeah. I've never seen it before, but it's on Netflix now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think so, Tim. Richard Karn's always at Pensacon.
Oh, is he?
I saw him again.
I need to go meet him. I'd like to meet him now that I'm a fan. We have our on-site supervisor, Silas, today. Hi, Silas. Doing a good job supervising.
You should have became a YouTuber for kids. It's just, that's where the money's at.
It really is. I've seen some funny videos. It's like when you find out that your wife is making $10 million singing Wheels on the Bus, and it's just like the guy's doing it. I spent so much time watching videos on drywall and ceiling repair before even attempting this. One thing I've learned just generally in life is that it's one thing to understand how something works and the logic behind it, and another thing to actually have the skills and technique to implement it. Now, a lot of people understand how things work and are often satisfied to leave it at that. I think partially because developing the skill can suck. It sucks to be a beginner and make a bunch of mistakes. But another thing I've learned in life is that there's very rarely, if ever, another way. So despite catching my flaws afterwards and having the temptation to edit them out, I still am going to show my errors in this, like my lackluster tape and mud job here. It is bad, and I wish I had someone more experienced here helping me and showing me the way, but since I don't have that, these growing pains are a necessary evil. All right, it's the end of day one. I've done all the taping and all that. Looking a little rough, but I'm hoping that when it dries in 24 hours, I'll sand it down, hopefully fix some of that weird looking texture. I'm hoping that some of the, like it looks like the tape's kind of bubbly, and I was doing my best to fix it. But hopefully it'll kind of solidify, and then I'll do another layer on top of that. And I'm glad that we didn't start taking down the tile in the other bathroom, because we would not have had time. We're pretty much at the end of the day now, so it's a good starting point. I stopped by a couple times this week to drop off some stuff. I worked on the ceiling a little bit. I did some sanding. I came back and did another layer of the mud, the joint stuff that you put on there, so I think it was a lot smoother the second time around. Getting a little bit better as far as my technique goes, still not perfect. I didn't film any of that, and I came by yesterday, did a really big Lowe's haul. I spent like $800 in insulation, in paint, in floorboards. We got some protective gear. And as I was pulling up to put all the stuff in the house, the paint cans fell on me, and all 4 of them fell. One's a primer, mold resistant, ceiling paint, some stuff like that, and ruined my shoes as well. I just took them off and just straight up left them here. These are my Vessies, my YouTube shoes. That's all right. Today I'm just gonna sand it down a little bit more. It's not perfect on like one seam. You can see some of the tape kind of poking through. I've been trying to kind of cover it up a little bit more. Hopefully it's not that big a deal. I got some ceiling texture, so it's not just gonna be like plain. It's gonna look hopefully like a real ceiling. So I'm just gonna go touch up some of that, maybe do a layer of primer if I have some time, until I can have like a full day with some of the guys coming out. And just doing little tweaks and little bits until I have a couple more people that can help me out. I picked up this big old thing of insulation. It should cover the square footage in the other bathroom. Bunch of SmartCore LVP flooring, bunch of knickknacks and stuff. Kind of commandeered the couch. So I did go over it again. I think it's looking a lot smoother. I don't know how well it's coming off on camera, but just like the joints just look a lot smoother. See some area there. Yeah, that tape is coming through pretty bad. I've had to let it cure for 24 hours the first time, came back, did another coat, sanded, whatever, another 24 hours. So I think I'm going to sand it down and kind of just get it ready to be primed. I'm hoping the next bathroom will be a little nicer, since I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable doing kind of the edges and the tape, even though I made that little bit of a mess up there. And I sprayed this ceiling texture. To actually texture a ceiling properly, from what I read online, you have to like rent equipment and like do the whole thing. But because we're dealing with just 40 square feet and then 45 square feet in there, I just got the stuff in the can. This may be a regrettable thing, I don't know. The texture itself is meant for ceilings as opposed to like wall texture stuff. And when it dries, it shouldn't be like protruding as much. It should make hopefully a nice little texture, which will also hopefully blend in some of the overall mistakes. So I've done about all I can do now. So when this dries, I'll come around, I'll tape the edges, we'll do our layer of primer, and we can actually see kind of what it'll look like more or less when it's done. So we'll do a layer of primer, then I'll actually paint it, and then we can finally start working like going down. And even when that's done, it's gonna be the other ceiling. So that's gonna be a big project, I think, that other bathroom, because we're gonna be replacing that insulation. So this will be the second full day of working. Throughout the week, I've been coming here making little small pit stops. We were maybe gonna spend a day tomorrow working here as well, but we're in Florida, we're about to get hit with a pretty bad rainstorm. So it's already getting pretty cloudy and overcast. We're getting some sprinkling, drizzling. So hopefully we'll avoid most of that for today. But today's events are going to hopefully include priming the ceiling in the guest bathroom, and then removing the ceiling and the mold insulation in the personal bathroom, the master bathroom, and get that replaced, and hopefully the drywall put in place. So that's going to be hopefully the main goals for today.
Now going to do an assembly line. I'm going to pull these down and the insulation. Brimey's going to bag it, and then Amy's going to take it out, because I'm guessing it's going to be kind of a lot.
All right, we've removed the initial ceiling. We thought that there was going to be way more damage to this insulation. We actually might be able to get by with only replacing a small portion, but I thought for sure this section was going to be just unsalvageable. You can see some of it's got some issues there. Prime actually got the vent fan working again. Look at that. One less thing we have to do, call an electrician. Good work, Prime. Next thing we're going to do is remove all the staples, anything that will obstruct the drywall, and then hopefully get that drywall up today. And then we're going to do, I think, a little bit of like cleaning up on the wall. There's things like protruding drywall issues. Get those kind of sanded down, fixed, spackled, and then prep to be painted in the future. It's another day back at the house again. So I only have a couple hours today. Neither Matt nor Prime could join me, so I'm gonna really just focus on painting. This is the guest bathroom, so I'm just gonna start kind of working my way down, painting this, just sort of getting it looking nice. I'm gonna see about maybe putting some trim on there if I can get it painted and dried. And then in here is the private bathroom, and we didn't get a whole lot of footage of us actually putting this in, mostly because we just ran out of power on our cameras. So I think I've gotten a little bit better about doing the spackle and stuff. We ran into a big problem here. Prime accidentally miscut this, so I put some like additional tape and some stuff, so I'm probably gonna have to work on that a little bit, but just making sure that when we put that air vent in, that it's actually gonna cover. You can see it's a little imperfect there. I'm gonna sand it down a little bit and then do another layer of that. Jen went out to Home Depot with me. We picked out some trim, measured it, so I'm gonna be putting, there actually will be some ceiling trim in here. It's gonna go around there, and it was kind of pricey. It was like 90 bucks for everything, for like the trim. I got like a little paintbrush and stuff too for some of the corners. But that was a little more expensive. We also went out looking for different vanities and trying to figure out like a cost for those. There's a little place that I might check out that has some that are kind of discounted, because I really want to get these out of here. But we're coming down to the wire as far as budget goes. I was looking into replacing these. They range in price. Like I found one that was like 20 bucks. That's pretty much the same style, but silver. I was also thinking maybe I could just remove these and actually like treat them back at my garage, like sand them down, give them a nice coat, some polyurethane, and put them back up. So the first thing I'm gonna be doing is working on the ceiling, so that way when I put the mud and spackle and stuff, that'll be drying while I begin painting on the other bathroom. Not expecting to get a ton done, but just sort of beginning to, like, it's in my mind, it's like ceiling, and then we're just like working our way down. So next time I can get a hand and stuff, we're gonna go out and buy the vanities and the toilets, and then we'll probably spend, we're gonna need like a whole day, I think, to remove these and then place the new ones in. One thing I didn't anticipate is how dusty sanding down the drywall gets. I mean, even sanding some of my woodworking projects obviously get dusty, but I really underestimated just how nasty this stuff gets. I left several days just completely covered in dust. You know, kind of like in the other bathroom, there's this little section here where I can see the tape beginning to show through. And I think I did a better job, like, overall, but for some reason there's this one section that I notice it. I know Amy's not gonna care, but it bothers me. I think that actual section is a little loose, which is why it might be poking down. It might actually be like the entire board just in that section. And maybe when I put the vent cover on, it'll kind of even that out a little bit, I don't know. But once this dries, and it's already beginning to, I'm going to work on priming that. And I got some, I already said I suppose, but I got some crown molding. It's gonna be covering those gaps there. As that dries, I begin painting in the guest bathroom, and annoyingly, as I was placing the vents and covers back on the ceiling, I realized that there was a gap where the air vent cover goes, even though I could have sworn we accounted for that. But either way, I had to insert a small piece of drywall, tape, and joint compound to repair it, and then we'll eventually retexture, prime, and paint that one little section. It was extremely annoying. There are some gaps in my painting during this portion because I figured it was better to begin with the first coat that covered a majority of the wall and then go back for the smaller sections. Also, Amy was the one who picked out this color, and I think it is an improvement over the blue. Fortunately, I had a little extra time and started painting the master bath as well while the ceiling compound was drying. I got a little bit more painting done than I was planning on. I'll probably have to go back over this again with another coat, and definitely in the other bathroom. I think once this is painted white and all that stuff is back up in the ceiling, like the vents, I think it's gonna look a lot better. I measured the vanities, so I'm hoping I can find some vanities that are this size, within budget, with the sink placement roughly the same, so I don't have to do any weird plumbing stuff, and hopefully get those bought and here so that next time we're ready to just rip this out and install those. I'm not staying as long as I would like. Again, I'm still feeling kind of sick, so I'm wrapping it up here and gonna head home and have some chicken noodle soup. Heading out to Lowe's right now to grab one of the toilets. I'm doing a big day tomorrow. Matt's gonna be joining me. I'm gonna be renting a U-Haul because I don't have the space or a truck to be able to transport the vanities. There's this place out in Pensacola that I went to yesterday just to check it out. I'm trying to find vanities that are gonna be within budget, and they really get up there. They're like thousands of dollars. And that's well beyond what we're gonna be able to afford for this project. But it was like a discounted outlet store, and I found two vanities. One was 48 inches, 4 feet, which is the size in the private bathroom, and one was just shy of 36 inches. So it's gonna be a tiny bit smaller, but my plan is to take the U-Haul out there tomorrow with Matt in the morning, grab those, bring them back to the Papple's house, and then basically empty out both the bathrooms, get everything off the walls, off the floor, and then that should be like the big, like the main day of getting everything out, getting the flooring put in, and then putting in the new vanity, new toilet. We should be getting all the mirrors taken down, and hopefully get the old vanities out and put the new ones in once the new flooring is put in, and do like the heavy day tomorrow. And Matt won't be able to join me the entire day, but he should at least be able to help me get those vanities moved over, get the old ones taken out, and hopefully we'll help with the toilet too. But as it stands now, we are over budget for sure. I returned the installation yesterday as well, and so we got back like 135, 139 bucks or something like that with tax. So that will help a lot. But our budget, basically what we have left is a little over 500 bucks. So a little over 500 bucks for two vanities and 2 toilets, and then like the little knickknacks that go with it. I've already got some trim for the ceiling at Papple's house, but we're probably going to replace some of the trim in the private bathroom too, because it's starting to rot a little bit, and it just would be nice to kind of update that. And it's not too expensive, but toilet roll holders, paper, towel holders. I'd like to replace the shower curtain rod in the guest bathroom. So none of them are like really expensive, but there are a bunch of small things that could add up. So we're looking to probably be a few $100 over budget, and that's okay. And like I said at the beginning, depending on what the budget was, would kind of depend on the lengths that we could go. So right now we're pretty much at like everything I want to do, but not much wiggle room outside of that. So that's a good renovation, if you ask me. And to put it in perspective, the whole budget that we accumulated was around $1,600. It might be a little bit less, but it's around there. And for somebody to come out and just do the drywall ceiling, they quoted me $1,600. So the fact that we got that done, painted, new stuff, updated flooring, replacing, I'm going to be replacing some of the drywall in the private bathroom too. That's like just got so much water damage. That'll be for next time. But the fact that we're going to be doing all that for around that amount is incredible. So I'm not going to be able to get the faucets and likely the light fixtures that we were hoping to get at Lowe's anyways, because they're so expensive. But I'm going to head over to Target or Walmart, see if they have anything that's not as expensive but still look nice. Because at Lowe's, like the cheapest faucet for something that you just put in a vanity is over $100. Like there's nothing under $100, and I just find that really surprising. So we don't want to get anything super like cheap looking, but if we can find some kind of middle ground where we can be in like the $20, $30, $40 range, I think hopefully we can find something like that. I was really surprised when I started doing more home improvement stuff when we did some at our house, how expensive that crap was, and that just blew my mind. But hopefully we can find something that's not as expensive but still as complimentary. So a few things have happened. I mentioned last time that Amy's mom, she's out of town right now. She's in Pennsylvania visiting her mom who's going through hospice care. I just found out Amy's not in town right now. I just found out her mom passed away Tuesday. It's a couple days later, and so she's going to be gone till Sunday. And I'm not going to get this all finished today for sure, but I'm hoping we can get some of the heavier big stuff, and then I might be able to like finish most of it come Saturday. So I might take some time and just head out there and do that, so that when she comes home Sunday, it'll pretty much all be done. And that's just like one less thing for her to worry about. So right now, I'm on my way to go get a U-Haul. I'm having Matt come because I need help carrying these vanities. I went to this place in Pensacola that has like discount vanities. I found a couple that were nice but lower priced, and I tried buying it there, and I was like, can I buy this now and come pick it up later? And he was like, we don't do that. I was like, okay. I'm praying that they're still going to be there. I think that they are, but even if not, we could probably find something comparable. But I found basically like a matching set in the size needed for the guest bathroom and their bathroom. So that's the plan right now. Grab this U-Haul, head to this place, and pick those vanities up.
All right, guys, let's get started.
All right, let's get started. We got our U-Haul. Baby's got 12 horses under it. I don't know why I'm opening the door for you. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, slipped.
Thank you, good sir.
Watch your head.
I can't help but always think of the Family Guy skit wherever they're talking about how people that are not qualified to drive trucks, but they get a U-Haul, and they're like, it's okay because you're moving.
Oh, yeah,
I love it.
From Family
So
Guy.
funny to me.
I was actually going to do like a live action recreation using that audio, you know?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
When Jen and I first moved, but I had such a bad experience actually the first time I
I remember.
rented that truck. Well, that was so irritating.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right, let's go get stuck in traffic for 45 minutes because they're doing construction at 7 a.m. BMOFL. These are the two vanities that I saw here. So this was actually longer, but it's $360 for the whole set. So this included. It's like a faux marble. It comes with this, pretty decent size, and then there was like a smaller one here that matched for $140. So this is so the one that's in the guest bathroom now is 36. So this is 30. It's a little smaller, but it's kind of a tight bathroom as it is, so maybe it'll make it feel a little bit more roomy, and we can put some stuff up too. I would go 2 sink, but the one that's in there now is 1. So I was like, how can I make 1 spigot turn into 2 sinks, and that might be a whole thing. We'll just kind of leave it as is, I think. How long is this one? 48. So this is the length of the one in there now. We've been here for like 20 minutes trying to figure out what to do because I don't think that that's going to fit. So that's my bad. When I came here yesterday, or 2 days ago, whenever it was, I thought it was 48. So we ended up going with this other one. It's a lighter brown, but Jen likes that one. This one's like 130 bucks. I think it's going to look really good in the guest bathroom. They're not going to match. Amy's not going to care, but I know some people are like, they've got to match. No one's going to see that other bathroom except for them. And it'll be newer and nicer. So it's we're definitely in the red now, and but that's okay. We'll get these things, but I really, at this point, I don't think I can be spending any more money on this project at all. Everything that we're going to do, we're going to have to just use what we have over there.
Find your receipt and at the bottom, please.
Thank you.
How you feel?
Gonna have to produce a couple more videos here as soon as we're way over. We're way over budget. Hopefully Jen doesn't see the account before I can start explaining things.
So when you think about it, if you didn't do this today, you'd have to spend more money renting the U-Haul
I would.
again.
Yeah, there's no way I can do it without the U-Haul. It's another reason we had to do it today.
Or you could just contact a friend with a truck. But yeah, whatever.
I think that I do think that Vanity is better. I think that Amy likes that kind of, she likes like a natural wood look. One thing I've learned about her. So hopefully she'll like it. But let's get the U-Haul over there. Oh good, there's a bunch of spiders in here.
What are you picking up?
2 Vanities, we just bought them.
Pull over here, right outside.
Wow. Opening it for the first time. He wants us to go pull up over there.
Oh, got it. Nice. Glad they gave us instructions.
This is a different guy.
Just waiting on my vanity.
Yep. You know what I just thought about?
What?
Maybe we could have just replaced the top portion of the one in the... Now we'll do the whole thing. Just like, you know what, maybe we could have just done that, made it all feel all brand new. No, that's fine, we'll do the whole thing. Let's do this.
So Holden said, hey, let's meet up at like 8:15. I know you got to jam out pretty early around noon. It's,
Hey,
it's a 10.
There's an outlier situation here because that traffic,
I'm kidding. I'm
the
kidding.
traffic was at a standstill. It's not
kidding.
normal.
I'm kidding, Holden. Listen, you have to understand that I'm actually quite skilled in knowing how Holden Hardman events are going to go. So I fully expected it. It's fine.
Sorry. Did you get me talking about that guy looking like John Bernthal?
I did.
And not giving a...
No, he
crap
didn't.
about it.
He didn't give a no.
You ever watch The Punisher TV show? You look a lot like John Bernthal from Walking Dead. I don't know if you've seen that. Like, I don't watch TV. I just sell vanities.
Classic Holden Hardman, I got to tell you. But I'd have it no other way, my friend. I love you, and this is a part of the fun journey. You know, I'm still a part of the Harmy, although he still doesn't really adopt that term because I made it up for him back in 2020, 2021. But you know, I'm still a fan first. I just happen to be a douchebag friend that gets to tag along on these crazy, fun, really time-expensive.
We're running out of time, actually. So
Oh, how hypocritical of you! We're running out of time.
all right, let's see what's broken.
All right.
All right, well, first thing, let's clear out the bathrooms. Let's get everything out. We'll
Got
just get it down to brass tacks.
Good call, buddy. I gotta
See what the damage is.
I gotta take a piss anyways. Good call, buddy.
Let's do that right before we replace the toilet. Let's do it. Oh, you haven't seen the ceiling since we put it together over a year ago.
Yeah, I helped. What are you talking about?
I know. I said you haven't seen it since then.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah. The pipe looks like it's doing well. That's good.
The pipe?
Yeah, the pipe that I burst.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the pipe that you...
Your family still has running water. That's good. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, I did a good job on that. It says 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It's on its last bar of battery, though.
I got extras.
bathroom fully cleared out now. I'm gonna get this off the ground. We couldn't get like some of this glue crap, so the best thing I thought to do was just to get as much as we can and then like sand it down at a really high grit so that it's as flat as possible. So even with the discoloration, it should be okay. Got the toilet out, so that was a fun little first time experience for me. So I'm gonna get this as clean, as cleared out as possible and start laying the floor down.
All right, rip that vanity out. It was easy.
This has probably been the most eventful day that we've had so far, like where I'm seeing the most amount. We destroyed this vanity, got the old toilet out, destroyed the vanity in there. That was all Matt working in Papple's bathroom. We're installing the new toilet here for now. We got rid of the one that was in Papple's. The bolts were rusted so hard we couldn't get them out, so Matt just smashed it and carried it out broken in pieces. But because we're running towards the end of the day, we need at least one toilet in the house to be functional. Just placed this one. We got a wax. It's supposed to be better than the regular wax ring, allegedly. We just put it in. We're both like, did we do it right? So just filled it up with water. This one's got like one of those two like valves, one for peeing, one for pooping. So it's a moment of truth. We're gonna give it a first flush here.
Oh my
my gosh. Was it this?
I don't know.
Let's get some towels. It came out from up top, so something's not right there. Maybe we do it one more time. I'll do the top one so it's not as much water. You can tell me where if you see it's coming out of. It looked like it was coming out here, like shooting out this way.
Oh, Jesus. It came all, what?
All right, so that was embarrassing.
I knew something was gonna go wrong.
There's a seal that connects this and this that we didn't have connected. Now, we just put it in, but there is some thread that we weren't sure why it was there, but there's nothing else in the kit.
Yeah.
I think it's just for, like, there are different types of toilet bases, so like if you wanted to put one there, you can.
Doesn't make any sense.
Matt doesn't agree. We're gonna try one more time.
All right.
That was horrible.
Yep.
We flushed it one more time off camera. We're like, we gotta see where this is coming from. Try it again. Okay, it's not fully full yet. Please. Was that here before?
I think that worked.
Now that I got this brand new floor full of poop water. It's not really, it's just regular. It's never been used before. But while I got a minute, I'm gonna put the new toilet seat on. We'll start tidying up and we'll get out of here. As long as one toilet is working. Good job. All right, let me get this on. We got the vanity in here. We're really running out of time, so it's just to get it off the U-Haul. Toilet's up and operational. We got this vanity in here, and we noticed a pretty big problem that the top looks like it's warped. So that's gonna be a problem for another day, but I was not too happy to see that. Another day here at the Papple's house. I've actually been making some good progress that I haven't been documenting too much. I've been coming over just like an hour here, a couple hours there. I've been here pretty much all day. It's almost 2 p.m. today, and I've been here since probably about 9 a.m. Just working on it by myself. I'm nearly done with the guest bathroom. Still got quite a bit left to do in the other bathroom, but I've realized that I actually haven't documented some of the progress. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a walk around to see where we're at. Got the floor finished. I took out the mirror and I installed the new vanity. Got some paint on there that's still drying. Finished painting a little bit this morning. Toilet in, got some trim installed. I installed this new white trim around. Had to use the miter saw to cut that. Got this installed and we finally got it running. Prime came out and helped me do some of that. Now I'm still getting a little bit of a drip. I don't know how well you can see it there. It's just ever so slight. This looks very ugly, but no one's gonna be really looking in here. So hopefully it's not that big of a deal. I'm probably gonna go through and just re-caulk around the shower just because I'm noticing a couple cracks. There was a pretty bad one there I did a couple days ago. And I got all new stuff like this. I'm gonna get rid of that. And the only thing is that I'm not gonna be replacing this door. I'm already so over budget, and that's just like one extra thing. But at least I was able to do the trim around it. Here's some trim as well. I'm going to be replacing the vanity light. I just ripped out the old trim here and realized there's a lot of old rotten wood. I really want to get the new flooring put in here. This vanity is just like in the way. It's, you know, not any better. I left a weight on it for a couple of days, like a pretty significant weight, hoping it would kind of help fix it. And the place will not exchange it or anything, and so that's probably the last time I'm ever going to go to that place because this sucks. I also didn't really worry too much about the wall behind it. It was pretty rough looking, but just did a coat of paint over it, and I'm going to be putting the new mirror there. While I have a couple of hours left, I'm going to probably just work on the floor trim. I got a floor chisel instead of using that axe thing Matt and I used before to try and get some of the rest of this floor stuff up. That should make that a bit easier. And I just wanted to hopefully get started on putting some of that flooring down. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that now. And I ripped the old wood trim off of here today too, and with the intention of putting the new one up. So just a little update there. A lot of like trim work, a 1,000 little things. But I'm getting there. It is another day at the Papal house again. Been making some good progress. I'm on my way right now to take that curated marble top back. I'm a little worried that they're not going to accept it as an exchange. I messaged the guy who owns the place, I guess, on Facebook and was like, hey, look, I know you have a no refund policy, but I can't even use this thing. You know, I spent like $180, $185 or something on it. It's useless to me. I've tried like leveling it out. I put weights on it. I can't use it. So he agreed to let me exchange it as long as it was before the end of the week. Today's Thursday. Honestly, this part has been probably the most annoying so far. I was able to get the vanity of like the guest bathroom done with Prime's help. And like, I've just been trying to rack my brain about how I want to handle this situation. And I was like, maybe I can just like accept it being a little curved and bowed. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to buy another one. So I'm just like, I might have to go Karen mode and be like, look, exchange it out. He seems to be agreeable. I got to go in there and ask for it. It's always awkward, but you got to do what I got to do. I mean, that's a lot of money for a useless paperweight. So that's the plan today. And then I have a doctor's appointment. And then after that, I should have a couple hours to be able to work on it today, and then a full day tomorrow. I'm gonna try installing the mirror in the guest bathroom, and that should pretty much wrap that up, except there's a little bit of paint. I gotta fix a little tiny spot, but that bathroom's pretty much done. And then I wanna get the master bath finished. So that's the plan for today. All right, so they just replaced it with the new one. I had them pop it open here, and this one's freaking warped too. And they're like, it's the last one we have. And I was like, well, guys, it doesn't work, you know? And I was like, you know, can I get a refund? Like, no, they don't do the refund thing. And so I was like, okay, so great. So I just wasted all that money, and like, well, you could try to put some shims in there. Okay, great, thanks for that. You know, so this is really irritating. I'm just gonna do my best to try to figure it out and make it work, and you know, we'll see what happens, I guess. So I think today I'm gonna be kind of getting this more or less in place, cut out the hole for the pipes to go back there, get it cleaned up, and I want to begin on the floor, so I gotta have to fix that. All right, I've installed enough flooring to actually get the toilet installed. I just wanted enough to be able to install it today. I got a little further along than I was anticipating. I'm not gonna finish that right now because I'm on limited time, always on limited time. Some of the progress, this area here is real bad. I'm gonna have to probably figure out a way to keep that from getting more and more water damaged. When I put this here, this is not a permanent fixture yet because I gotta wait to see how the top is gonna sit on there, but I did clear up some room for us, and the floor is looking good. Back for another day. I have Prime here helping me.
Back for another day.
I got about 6 hours here to work on this, and we should make some pretty good headway.
Yeah, but what day in the project is this?
Hard, see, how do you even quantify what a day is? Because like there were some days I just came by for like an hour, like 30 minutes. Some days I was here for like 8 hours. Yeah. Today's a full day. So full days, all I know is that on my, like as I'm categorizing the footage, it's like day 9. But again, not full days, all of those. So this will be like day 9 or day 10. So we have a game plan. I'm gonna finish up the floor, fix some of this area there to put the trim down at the base. Prime is going to work on the ceiling trim.
Yeah. Cut 90 degrees, right?
90 degrees, yep, that's right.
Get the trim, hopefully we can get it finished up today.
Yeah, and then probably one big thing is gonna be this, and I've already gone on about that, but I'll probably task Prime with doing the plumbing since he did the plumbing of the other one. And then maybe if we have enough time, we'll be able to start putting up like the towel racks and things like that, but we'll see. Let's get started. Let's get started, everyone. We about have this toilet installed. I made sure to include the rubber valve, gasket, whatever it's called, in it this time so it doesn't explode on us. Solid as a rock. All right, Prime has now got the water line connected. Let's see if we're getting any leaks.
You attach this appropriately?
Yeah, should be pretty good. Let's just keep just keep an eye on it. No leaks yet.
Well, it just pops off.
Well, you weren't here, but when me and Matt did the guest one, we had filled it up like this, and then when it came time to flush, the water just started shooting out of the base.
Okay, here we go.
But we got the valve in. All right, Prime, you want to do the honors? Looks good. I'm an expert now. I'm a pro. Honestly, I did this 10 times faster now. There's this area in the corner of the tub where water had caused the actual tub itself to warp and shrink away from the wall and tile. The best solution that we could come up with without removing the tile was to use a special foam to basically fill in the entirety of the cavity to prevent further damage, and then caulk any edges to make it watertight. It's not ideal, but should prevent it from getting worse and should more or less blend in with the tub itself. And the reason we were doing this in the dark is because I shut off the power there so that I could replace the vanity light. This should be the final day of us working on the bathrooms. We're going to finish up the trim around the corners. I'm gonna pop that down. I think Prime got a couple different types. I'm gonna install the small stuff like the toilet roll holder, touch up that little bit of paint, a lot of small things. In the other bathroom, she just asked if I could change out the shower head, so she got one. I'm gonna replace that. Get the sink up and running, hang the shower curtain back up, and that'll be it. So Prime's on his way here. He's picking up some extra trim. We're gonna knock it out together, hopefully just a couple hours. And that'll be the end of this. And we're gonna be doing some of the Patreon thanks. So stay tuned for that. You haven't been a part of this, but we've been trying desperately to get this ceiling trim. Prime has been working on it, and he's like, it's nothing I'm doing is right. And like, we looked up like 18 YouTube tutorials. I was like, you know what? This might just have to be something that we're not gonna do.
I'm going like this. I'm going from like this flat edge. And then you're like, what if you just turn it?
Yeah, it's like, just finagle it a little, Prime, and it fits perfectly. We're like, we've been cutting and like getting spare pieces, and we're like, oh, we're just stupid.
You see that side?
Yeah, look how much. That's our test one.
Oh my god.
Prime's like, I swear to God, I've done it. Are the walls not squared?
Look, this is the final day, the fourth final day, right?
The fourth final day.
We're on the fourth final day. I'm just done with numbers and measuring.
It was me too, because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's going on. So I thought you'd enjoy that. All right, let's get back to it. old toilets by the road. There's Amma playing with my son. Pierre's doing this thing now. He just likes to roll a ball under any vehicle he can find, then use a broom and get it out. That's pretty much what we do for hours and hours on end. Hero, how do you like the bathroom?
I love it. You know I hate being on video. I love it, but I can't do it on camera.
It's all good. So we're now at the conclusion of the Papal bathroom renovation. It was quite a learning experience for me, and I wanted to give a special thanks to all the patrons that helped fund it. One of the perks of a patron donating to the project was that I was gonna get pied in the face. Now, Matt was originally supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it today, so I've enlisted Dane Papal. He's going to be doing the honors of pieing me in the face for every person that has donated. So Dane, let's go ahead and get into it. We're kind of cheating on the pies. I didn't want to go out and buy 12 pies. The first person to donate was Jacob Lundbeck. This is for you, pal. All right, 11 more to go. Up next is Mike Goggins, and Mike had the biggest donation by far and was probably the major reason why we were able to do as much as we did. So thank you, Mike. Hopefully a pie in the face is worth it, but we appreciate it. And this one's for you, pal. Okay, I'm starting to regret having that refrigerated prior to doing this. Dylan Brody. Anthony Martinez. I actually may not have enough. We're only like 3 or 4 names in. Brent Croissant, that's not the actual one, that's the joke on the Patreon channel. Brent Croissant. Luca Gallery. David Sense. Johan Foss, a longtime patron of ours. Terry Guffey, thank you. Michael Prelix from Austria. Stephen Malloy. You're getting harder each one of those, love that. And the final one, Timmy Mills. All right. All right, well that is it for this video. Patrons, again, thank you guys so much for contributing to this project. It was a huge help, and I literally would not have been able to do everything I did without your support. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. It helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe so you can be notified when I post the next video. And don't forget to check out Patreon. It's a great way to not only support the channel, but you get exclusive videos, early access. We do a lot of fun games and stuff with patrons over there, polls, a lot of great stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. For now, that is it. And I'll catch you in the next one, everyone. Take care.